stop shying around. Just go out there and, you know, you will rock it. Like, just give it a try. You never know. I was not able to start working. Guess why? Because of the social security number.
How did you overcome homesickness?
God puts those obstacles for you, but they are really like in your favor.
The DS at your school,
They can literally terminate
can
your status.
literally-
I changed a lot. I feel like that Muhsin in Algeria and Mo are entirely different. If I had to like have a paper and a pen and write my destiny, like it would have probably been like less cool than the one I have right now.
yep.
You know? So alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for everything. My name is Muhsin Khadraoui, and just to make things easier for people, I go by Mo, and that is like the first two letters of my name. So just like Mo Salah, you know?
That's how we get to know you, actually.
Exactly, yeah.
What are stuff about the American culture that you had to unlearn when you came here?
Ooh, interesting. I feel like there's a lot, but as internationals, we always think, for example, about the United States as like the college movies.
Okay.
You know, like there's a bully, and then, you know, it's like college life and everybody, you know. But when I got here, it's a very high-paced life, you know, like work.
Like American students will have to have 2 jobs.
Actually, some at 3, 4.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There is some stuff that was exaggerated. There was some stuff that were not depicted in the movies, but they are real. And also this amount of diversity, as I said. Like, yes, I knew like the United States is such a melting pot, but I never thought, for example, it would be to this extent. You know what I'm saying? To a point, for example, Gannon is very diverse. Like we go play football there, and literally everyone is from all other countries, from Asia, South America, Uzbekistan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, especially the African countries. Like, so I told you were like my first Cameroonian friend. So it was you, Alex Vashal, and that was it, like from other African countries. And then when it went to Gannon, I expanded that to like a big amount. So it was Nigeria, it was Somali, it was Congo, it was Liberia, Liberia, and then it was Kenya. It was all over the place, and I loved that, and this is my favorite thing. And I find it funny sometimes, like I'm in the pitch, like I'm playing, and I turn to somebody and I was like, hey, where are you from?
No, that's true.
And I kind of like feed off such things, you know. Like my favorite part about traveling sometimes, like when I go to the airports, is meeting like people from different countries, and I get to probably practice one of the languages that I speak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I love Gannon. Like I go there and I meet somebody, and one of my things is that I'm into geography, right? And capital cities.
I know.
So I hear somebody tell me like, hey, I'm from Bosnia. And I was like, oh, you're from Sarajevo? And then they're like, how do you know this? And I'm like, I know this. What do you mean? And then that makes them feel also appreciated.
It's necessary. It's good to come. Yes, you come for your studies, but you also come for the experience of it.
For sure.
Yes, focus on what you came to do, but please don't forget the experience that comes with it.
For sure.
Don't forget the amount of people you get to know. Of course, hey, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but just go for it. You know, like you talk about being homesick. How did you overcome homesickness?
I would lie if I say I got rid of it, because it's literally every day as part of me. But the way I minimized it kind of is, for example, having friends and like hanging out with them. For example, when it comes to like Algerian kind of holidays, I have like some Algerian friends that we celebrated together. So, for example, it was Thanksgiving. I told you 2 of my Algerian friends visited me. And then that's how I do it, and also keeping myself busy. I've been really busy, and also hobbies. I'm all over the place. Did I tell you I did some combat sport in Algeria?
No.
Oh,
I know you did volleyball.
I did volleyball. Well, volleyball was more professional. Like I did volleyball team in middle school, and then high school, and then I played for my town's team. So we competed and everything. However, like combat sport, I picked up that around like high school too, and it was like a casual thing. So I did like kickboxing. And then when I came here, I started doing jiu-jitsu. So I'm still doing jiu-jitsu here and there. And so I do jiu-jitsu, volleyball, I play soccer, football between brackets. And lately, you know what I learned to do? Don't laugh at me. Keep your laugh to yourself. I learned how to crochet.
Wait, those?
Yo,
Yo.
I swear.
Yo,
Yeah,
what?
Yes, I learned how to crochet. Sometimes I just sit there. I'm crocheting. I throw a podcast. Actually, one of the episodes I listen to you while I'm crocheting.
Oh, okay.
I'm like crocheting, making I'm not wearing anything that I have my hat in my car. Now
That you
I'm wearing
did?
this one. Yeah, I made like 3-4 hats.
I mean, hey, I'm
yeah,
not judging.
yeah.
You know what? If you enjoy it, if you, as you say, if it makes you busy,
For sure.
you know what? You do you.
For sure.
Wow, that's
And it's so stress relieving too. Like you get
Interesting.
I find it like a little hard at the beginning. It requires a lot of concentration because sometimes you need to count the stitches, and they're like different stitches. Like there is the chain, and then there's like half doubles, there's doubles, trebles. Like there's like hundreds of types or more of stitches. So you need to practice those. But yeah, you should try it. Though
maybe. I don't know.
So you start making your own stuff. Yeah, so
I don't think I have that patience.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I said too. Now I'm addicted. I literally have yarn and hook in my car, and I have like a box. And whenever I'm waiting for something, like I just sit there and crochet. Yes.
Is it important?
For sure. I like logically, let's say you're not doing those, and you have a lot of free time. So that free time kind of leads you to, overthinking, staying in your room, and it's never good. So keeping yourself busy, I would say for sure, and also meeting people, as I said.
Yeah.
I think this differs from one person to another. Like some introverts probably don't enjoy, just going out there and talking with different people. I personally, I told you, like, I changed a lot. I feel like that Muhsin in Algeria and Mo are entirely different.
They are.
So, for example, when I was in Algeria, I don't know, like, I was that quiet boy. And every time I tell this to people, they never see it. They never see it. They don't believe me because they see how upbeat I am. Like, I'm literally like the life of the party. So...
But that's not because even when I met you, you were so reserved.
Yes. And these were like the first days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then slowly later.
And then,
it was just like
you're a beast now. Like if you go somewhere, people, Mo is around.
Yeah.
But it's important. It took you some time, but
for sure.
You were able to transition.
Yeah, and it was those clubs, for example, and events, as I said. So yeah, remember I took you to the volleyball club.
Yep.
There's soccer club at Mercyhurst. There's the MSG events that I talked about. So there's a whole stuff that you can do at Mercyhurst, and I'm pretty sure all other universities in the United States.
Yeah.
So make use of these, learn more stuff, kind of expand that experience, because the more you try, the more you know.
Yeah.
In Algeria, we have this saying. It's called "Ish tshuf," like meaning like. It's kind of like live and you will see, but like you'll see as if like you will learn.
You will
like
learn.
just live, kind of thing. I don't know. It sounds basic, sounds weird when translated, but it's heavy in Algeria.
But it's all right.
So it's kind of like that.
Context makes sense.
Yes, exactly. So like the more you kind of learn and expand your this like. When you dive into like a niche, like let's say crocheting or like jiu-jitsu, as I said, different
Even
stuff,
playing soccer,
and then you notice that it expands your horizons. When, for example, you watch a movie or you listen to a song, there's like references, there are allusions, and I noticed like. For example, the comedy shows, sometimes I learn, like, I now understand some jokes because,
oh my goodness,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I watch this movie, if I watch like a particular movie, one example is one show that I totally love. It's called Community.
Okay.
It's like, it's like I think it's on Hulu. Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay.
And it's basically about like a friend group in a community college.
Okay.
And it's just silly in their daily college life. So it's called Community. So I'm understanding jokes more because I learned more. You know what I'm saying?
And you are in an environment where this movie was made. So the jokes they make,
exactly.
because you're in this environment, you can. Oh wow!
Exactly. So like if an Algerian that is probably not so exposed to the American culture as we are, they wouldn't probably understand half or like 80% of the jokes in them in the
It
series.
happened to me when I moved to America. Then when I started watching the same type of shows.
Yes. You never get it until like you actually learn and dive into those niches, and you understand the references.
It makes sense. Like the more you learn new things, the more equipped you are, and the more knowledgeable you are in your environment. So now, I mean, I feel like these two things go together: homesickness and depression.
For sure.
Did you experience depression?
I definitely did. I wouldn't say like I would officially name it depression.
Sure.
But that's how it felt like. But I never got it like prescribed. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I never actually had a professional who diagnosed me with depression. So probably not leave it at that. Is there wood near me? Is there wood? Knock knock. So
knock on. Okay, before we go on depression, knock on wood. Is it a Nigerian thing?
No, actually not. That's an American thing that I learned.
Oh man, I heard they were like, oh no, knock on wood. I was like, wait, what?
What? Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, so we can talk about that. Yeah,
I mean,
so knock on wood is kind of like those cultural concepts that we have in different countries.
Do you have the same thing in Nigeria?
We say, okay, similar. We say بعيد الشر, بعيد الشر, which is like the evil may stay away or something like that. So it's kind of like a praying instead of like an actual, So it's some sort of a superstition. So there is like no scientific, logical explanation to it, but it's just a cultural thing. So in here in the United States, I'm not really sure whether it's like also English or just United States or, but I learned it in the United States just to be accurate.
Yep.
And you basically say knock on wood, and you knock on wood when you don't want to jinx something. So just as I said, like, I don't think that I have officially depression. I said knock on wood. So that I don't jinx it. Yeah. So
no. True. So going back, it was a nice little break right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Going back, so what did you think you experienced then that you wouldn't call depression? What was it?
I think it was a little homesickness. Sometimes you actually cry. Sometimes you just tear up when it gets really hard, especially like with life expenses. You know how it is for international students. So, for example, you need to, if you don't have a scholarship that is fully funded, then you have to figure it out how to, I don't know, like make some money and eventually support your, living expenses, tuition, housing, food, and so on and so forth. And at the same time, I don't know if it's natural, but like when you come to the United States, you're kind of the figure that is a role model for your family kind of thing. So, and that kind of like leaves some burden. It's not necessarily bad, it's good, but at the same time, there's a bad part to it, is that you kind of like feel like you can't seek support. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
So you're in the United States, like your cousins, people like, for example, if you live in a village, you know what I'm saying? They think that, oh, he's in the United States. He made it. Like, he's a big boy doing big boy things,
Yeah, he is.
So, like, you can't, like, say to your parents who are in Africa, like, hey, can you please, like, support me with some money? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. It's real.
It's real. We're speaking, like, real stuff here.
Yeah, when you travel, like, you are, not to say you're on your own, but you kind of, there's a sense of pressure that says it's not fair for me to ask money back home.
Yes, for sure.
Because they already sacrificed a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's crazy because some of us, when we come here, because when I came here, right, I had $36,000 in my account for my 2 semesters in America that I had to pay.
Exactly.
And it's like, it was the first time I could ever have this type of amount in my account. And I'm like, what the heck? And it's so easy to just spend this money just like that.
Yeah,
but when you think of all the sacrifices our parents made, when you think of, I can't just spend this money, like I have to focus on school, and sometimes it's hard as international to think about having fun, because when you're like, I can't have fun because I'm the support system.
For sure.
I'm the leader.
For sure. And
all the eyes on me. Going back to the question of depression, when you come here, you know your reality. You have to pay for your housing. You you have your own needs. The more you grow, the more you have to take off yourself.
For sure.
And of course, there's this idea of I'm making money. You would think about sending it back home, not because they ask for it, but because you know this will help. And sometimes it's just this pressure of
it is, yeah. But at the same time, it makes you happy.
It does,
and that what
it
pushes
does.
you. Like again, as I said, that sort of, I don't know, them taking me as a role model, as like a successful member of the family.
Yeah.
That kind of pushes me to go even farther. And that's why, for example, one of the reasons I want to pursue PhD, for example. You know, I told you, like, I want to do PhD. I already consider, like, some universities and stuff. And I actually started applying. So this is just pushing me forward. Like, I want to help my family. You know what I'm saying? So you don't necessarily, as an international student, have to do this. And you're not really, like, 100% expected to give back. But I would say if you have some extra money, which is like very rare for international students.
I know, right?
But please give it a try. Just saying like how, like, no matter how minimum it is, like just send like couple hundred, and you'll see how much it's gonna make you happy. Like you have no idea.
You have no idea what
just
that
like
means.
send one, and then like your dad just calls you and is like, "Hey, I received your money," and then you feel like,
oh, I'm a man.
Like, I'm a man. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was asking you for money, now I'm giving back. You know, like now I want to send 2,000 and not 200.
No, it's a reality that no one else will understand apart from an international student.
For sure.
You know, it's this sense of I want to help my family.
And I would make it even more specific. International student, but also who's seen the hardships in life. You know, probably like some from a developing country, Algeria, Cameroon, some other countries where like we appreciate kind of, I don't know, we appreciate things, you know.
We do. But of course, you know, there are always outliners where you'll see some kids come from a really wealthy family.
Yes.
And it's not
it's
not the same reality.
For sure.
But it's just this aspect of when you come here in America, there's this idea of you are on your own. You are becoming a man. That's the reality of things.
For sure.
You taking this step of traveling means that your parents are not close to you. No matter how much money you have, there are some situations where a phone call won't fix
it's not
it.
about the money sometimes. Yeah,
No,
for sure.
It's about it. It's about the connections, about who you know.
For sure.
Well, which leads me to networking as an international student. Like you as an international student, how important has networking be in your life as an international?
I feel like that's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a part of networking.
Yeah.
So as I said, it kind of builds you up if you work on your networking. If you're just out there, you never know. Opportunities are everywhere. For example, one time I met a professor at Tim Hortons, where I got the donuts.
Yeah.
And that professor, one time, like when she heard my story, it was just literally on the line. She suggested for me a scholarship.
Interesting.
Like I think it was like 3-4 months later. She was like, "Oh, this is a scholarship. It's like $1,000. It's called like this script project."
Yes.
And
I know. I saw it.
Yes,
Alice shared how you and someone else won, right?
Yes, exactly. So it was exactly that project. So she was like, "I think this is perfect for your profile, and then I think you should apply for it." And I was like, "Yeah, thank you." And that I don't even know her at personal level. It was at Tim Hortons.
Interesting.
Tim Hortons. It was just like very kind of chit-chatting. And then I applied for it. And then I sent like some articles, some stuff, some this, some that. And then I won the scholarship.
Yeah.
And I got rewarded $1,000 for free. Like just you know. And that was the scholarship. And it was from a very casual encounter at Tim Hortons. You see how silly it is?
Yes.
Like somebody who's next to you right now, like I don't know if you're hearing this in a bus, are you hearing this in somewhere and you're wearing headphones, like probably the person sitting next to you he could be like probably like the one who would
answer to your problem.
Yeah, and somebody who would fund your projects, your startup, somebody who would, like send you overseas to do things, You never
Yeah,
know. You never know. So
Like,
just give it a try. Yeah.
share
Like
your
just
story.
share your stuff, be yourself, you
But
know.
that doesn't mean you will share your
No,
the
y-
details.
oh, yeah,
Of course,
for sure, for sure,
this
for
you have
sure.
to keep your private life.
Yeah,
You need to
yeah.
know the balance.
Yeah.
Share
Keep
what
up
you
the
share.
balance. Yep, for sure.
But you don't have to go to the details of things or moving crazy, and
yeah.
it's really important to like. I started my podcast at Mercyhurst,
Yeah.
and I had access to
And that's where we had our first episode.
and I had access to the Mercyhurst studio because of Dr. Lang, because I was like, hey, I think I want to start the podcast. So I was like, hey, I have this equipment. Just share your idea. That doesn't mean you have to be good at it when you start. I wasn't good at doing this when I started. I was just, I don't even know. I mean, I'm not even good yet, but just keep starting. Be involved as international student, because so as if someone new heard about your story, and then you guys met. Someone is watching, but you just have to keep doing something.
Keep digging. You never know, opportunities are out there. And then I remember the other Algerian Kamel.
Yes.
And it was a silly story how we met him in Uber. And then you asked me about my car earlier, and it used to be his car, so I got it from him.
Wow.
You see, and at the beginning of the semester, he was aware of like I was tight on money. I can't like pay a car, but at the same time I needed a car because my graduate assistantship is like 15 minutes away from Mercyhurst, so I needed a car to commute. And he offered his car, and in return I just paid for the notary, like just to change the car title to my name, and insurance, and then I would pay him back later, and then I paid him back.
Wow.
You see?
So going back to your car,
yeah.
the type of car you drive is not what you are looking for.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a decrepit. it comes to be like a helicopter sometimes. It means like it like some sounds. The engine is broken, but it drives from point A to B, and it drove me here, and that's what I needed.
Something because I mean when I say so, it's because of things we see. It's because of the thoughts we have. It's like, hey, if you look at American counterparts, they're having a nice car.
Oh, they have a car.
It's the latest version.
Yeah.
And you could be tempted in buying the latest version too.
For sure.
But what you forget is that you are here for a specific goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes your first car is not
what you want.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Your first car is not what you want. Your first car is not what it's not your dream car.
Somewhere. Yeah, for sure.
But how did you have this phase of, I need a flashy car, or were you just like, you always knew that you wanted just something just from point A to point B?
Well, I think it's natural. We all want a flashy car. Yeah, for sure. But I think for me, it was more of a necessity. So, for example, if I was still on campus and I had a GA work on campus, I don't think I would have gotten like that car specifically, or even a car at all. Because my motive behind it was just like to go to my GA, which was 15 minutes away from my house. And I had to do that expeditiously because when I went back as an F1, I needed to start working because that funds my tuition. And then look, sometimes, like God puts those obstacles for you, but they are really like in your favor.
Yep.
And I never thought about this, but I'm just talking about it now, and I'm like, wow. So I'll talk what I'm thinking. So basically, I came back spring, right?
Yep.
January, and then I did not have a car. However, I was supposed to start working the same day I got to the United States.
Wow.
So because it was January, I think like 20th when he came back, and the semester started like around that time. It was January 17th, I think, when we started.
Okay.
And you were an active student at Mercyhurst at the time.
At the time,
so I had to have a car or like Uber or whatever, figure something out to be at my work 7:45 in the morning, and then leave at 2:30 or like 2, and be at Mercyhurst before the evening because I have evening classes. So I really needed a car. Otherwise, I had to spend probably at least like $30 a day in Ubers. However, I was not able to start working. Guess why? Because of the Social Security number.
Ooh.
So I did not work until April.
Interesting.
So think about it, like January, February, March, then April. Then I started doing my GA. But at the same time, they already funded like the 75% of my tuition.
Interesting.
So during that time, I was basically just studying and waiting on my my social security number.
Yep.
And at the same time, I got to have a car. You see? So till now, I never Ubered
to work.
You see?
Oh wow!
Like,
I was trying to connect the dots.
So it's like those tiny nuances
Interesting.
that sometimes make me feel like God exists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's somebody like that like writing your destiny. Like somebody who like has fated things for you.
Yeah.
Like if I had to like have a paper and a pen and write my destiny, like it would have probably been like less cool than the one I have right now.
Yep.
You know? So alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, for sure. For everything. For COVID, you know, like COVID, you know, because of COVID I'm here.
Yes.
Also like because of me not being able to do like my social security number on time. I didn't have to spend any money on work, and I also got the advantage, but I didn't get the stipend, but at the same time, and I didn't have to Uber for like 3-4 months. Yeah. So God is good.
He is.
Yeah, for
he's
sure.
Present. He's
for
there.
Sure. For sure.
No, I like what you say, because sometimes we have this urgency of doing stuff, and sometimes it's just like, hey, calm down. Yeah, just you know, just do the like best you can, and just leave it at God. You know, just leave it for God. One question I want us to talk about is the question of international travels.
Oh,
people. I mean, when I came to the US, I was so scared of leaving the US. Like, oh my God, if I leave the US, what's going to happen to me? Am I still going to get my visa? Oh my goodness! But you've traveled twice.
To Algeria?
Yes.
I went twice to Algeria. Twice, yeah.
How was the customs coming back? Because I'm interested in the customs coming back, because going out it's all right, but coming back.
So what I heard and what I practically kind of learned too is that when you come through a big airport that expects, for example, or has a lot of immigrants coming, it's easy. So, because they heard a lot of stories, and it's a high pace. For example, I don't know, JFK, you know. But if you go to like a tiny airport, not a tiny one, but more a smaller one, probably that officer is bored. So he's like, okay.
Yeah. So where are you from?
Where are you from? What did you have for dinner last?
What do you have in your bag?
Exactly. So this is So I know this information. It's not necessarily correct, but also. By experience, like my 2 times going from Algeria and coming back, it was easy. They didn't ask me any questions. I was not like pulled out to a specific room or anything, and that's it. Yeah.
Recently, when you went back to Algeria, what did you require from the International Student Office? Like, I know they say they need to sign your I-20. Is that what you did?
Yes, you need to sign your I-20. Okay. Please make sure to do that. Don't put yourself in a tight spot, and don't also put the International Students Office at your university in a tight spot, because just keep that communication back and forth with your DSO, right?
Yeah, DSO,
DSO, yeah. So I got my I-20 signed, and also it was tricky for me because it was my brother's wedding, right? One of my brother's wedding who got married September 1st, and I went very late. So the beginning of the semester here was August 23rd. Okay, August 23rd. And I went to Algeria August 21st.
Interesting.
So it was like 2 days before the beginning of the semester.
Yeah.
And then my arrival was September 15th.
Wow.
So 15th from Algeria, and then I would get here September 16th. And I didn't get here until the 17th because my flight got delayed, and I ended up spending like a night in London. So basically I came to Mercier like a month late.
Yep.
So a month late, and almost a month late. And what I did is, before going, I knew, and also I let the communication, let the International Students Office know that here, it's my brother's wedding. It's a big event. I can't miss that. I haven't been home for like, almost 2 years. so I can't miss it, and I want to go. So they were on board. However, they wrote me a letter saying that, yes, Mo is an international student at Mercyhurst, and we are aware of his absence, and he's keeping up with his schoolwork. So this is a very particular situation.
Yes,
So I'm not
yes.
sure if one of our listeners would share the same thing, but probably if you're an international thinking of going home during the academic semester, please make sure just to have some sort of a defense against, you know, the
Like,
officers.
because you
Yes,
never
you
know,
never know. Yeah,
what
yeah,
type
you
of
never know.
officer you will
Yeah, so
have.
back to the boring, like board, sorry, like the board
Yeah.
officer out there who's probably saying like, oh, like you're late now. You know you're missing school. Go back to your country. Like
Yeah,
they
it's
are literally
possible.
allowed to do that.
Yes.
You know? Do you know that they're allowed to look at your phone? I found this
Seriously?
outrageous. Yes.
They are? I didn't
they
know
are.
that.
Oh, be careful.
Oh my god!
They are. Yes, an immigration officer in airports. They're literally allowed to. It's federal thing, so it's not like a state thing. So they're
What?
allowed to look at your phone. So it's an immigration thing. Please make sure, our fellow internationals, that there is a lot of restrictions. So if you have a visa and that is accepted, that doesn't mean that yes, you are allowed to go to the United States. Like sometimes you never know. You know, like
never
sorry
know,
for the
yeah.
word, but shit happens.
No, it does.
Yeah,
It,
shit totally happens.
Yeah,
So
it does.
so yeah, be careful and
I like what you said. Communication with
communication. Yeah, for
when
sure.
you and honestly, and I will say this because as in this podcast, I want us to be as clear as possible. There's no hiding of information. When what happened? I had a financial issue,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't talk to Courtney.
Oh, okay.
I talked to someone else at Mercyhurst, and you went back to Courtney, and she was like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was like, "I just don't
You deserve
know."
some spanking, huh?
I
No,
I do.
okay.
I
Yeah,
do.
for sure.
I do.
Communication. Yeah.
I do because
For sure.
I didn't have that, and after that, I was like, "Shoot, I need to start communicating." more
Yeah.
with
So
Courtney.
yeah. So when I told her that I'm
your DSO, the DSO at your school,
they can literally
they
terminate
can
your status.
literally terminate
Yeah, yeah. So
the visa is not
yeah.
a guarantee.
yeah, for sure. And this is huge. Yeah, yeah.
We don't. I didn't pay attention
Yeah,
to it.
yeah, yeah.
Your visa is not a right; it's a privilege.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing we need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like your DSO can terminate your visa if you do not do what you're supposed to do. Have like the DSO is the person you should talk the most, at least at least once a month. If there's any changes in your stuff, talk to it. If you have an issue,
Yeah,
talk
no
to your
matter how
DSO.
little it is. Yeah, yeah.
Because as an international student, you do not only put your DSO at risk, you put your school. You put the whole institution.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not only
It's not only
remember
you.
what you built up to.
Yeah.
Probably like the barber in Algeria that gave a haircut to my dad. The family thinking that I'm a big figure, successful
yeah.
person. The students that you teach, that's all gone
That's
if you
all
have to
gone.
be deported and go back to your home country.
And
You see how heavy this is?
It is so heavy. I like what you said. Communication as an
yeah,
international.
yeah, for sure,
It's
sure.
very important. You want to travel, talk to your GSO. And that's the thing too. Even if you find an information online,
And
talk
that
to your
doesn't. Yep,
GSO.
yep.
Say,
For
hey,
sure.
I read this. What do you think? And she's going to find out. If you're like, your GSO is a human being. So of course you might find something online that they just approve. I'm like, hey, I just found it online. What do you think? I should say, hey, I don't think I'll make my research. When I have some more information, I will let you know because she or he have a lot of ins.
For sure, and it could be different. Like sometimes, maybe you're reading of an specific institution that is not a university,
Yep.
and maybe they do things differently.
Yep.
Maybe you're reading about, I don't know, like a university in Australia instead of the United States.
Yep. Or you
It's
read
just-
about a specific university that has a specific word
yeah,
about
so
specific things.
Yep, exactly.
No, it's I like the communication aspect of it. I think you really you demystify.
Hit the nail.
You did hit the nail.
Yeah.
You demystify what we always thought about. No, as an international, you can't travel. No, you can travel, but constant communication.
Yeah.
which
Also,
I call
one
it.
thing that I learned about traveling is that, those study abroad programs that
Yeah.
we have. in different universities, I always thought that internationals can't do that.
Oh, we
but
can?
Actually we can.
Really?
You see? So, because practically we are the ones studying abroad.
Yeah.
You know? But the different part is that the studying abroad programs are different from, what we do. Because we are like seeking a degree kind of thing. But like study abroad, it could be a degree thing, but usually it's like a semester, an exchange, kind of thing. So, one time I talked with the study abroad office, and they said internationals can do that.
Interesting.
So if you apply and pay, if you have some money,
don't forget the part.
Big one in caps lock. So if you have some money and you want to go, I don't know, somewhere.
Yeah.
I remember like last semester they did a little round trip. I think it was the fashion department.
Yeah.
They went to
Greece?
Yes. So they went to Greece. Then they went, I think, to London, Edinburgh. And then they went to, I think, Wales, that like United Kingdom kind of tour.
Yeah.
And I think so it was like a London thing, and whatever. So they, like, as an international, you can apply for these too. Like, you just give your passport information and go through the process, and you can do that too.
Interesting.
So if you have some money to spare.
We covered everything we had to cover in this episode.
Yeah, it's been so fun. I can literally sit here.
I know we could literally just sit here talk about stuff, because you've given information that I wasn't even ready to share. Like, I didn't even think about this, like the immigration tips. But before we close, I don't know how much time it will take you, but what would you advise future international students?
For future ones, yes, I would say first, like, get out of your bubble. Okay. That's what we spoke about, like the first part of the podcast. Like, as I said, you never know the amount of opportunities that are out there if you don't like make that first step to seek for them. Just like be yourself, but at the same time, if you are shy to speak, or if you're an introvert, you have a big life waiting for you. Yep. You have some expectations. You have some goals. You have family, as I said, that probably you're going to be supporting. Yep. You have a life to build. Yep. So stop shying around. Just go out there and, you will rock it. Like, just give it a try. You never know. Yeah. And I would say as internationals, we always come with some sort of like in video games, like there are like some characters that have like passive ability. Yeah. Like there's an active ability and a passive ability, Yeah. So think about yourself, like coming from somewhere, you always have some passive abilities that you're not aware of until like somebody else is impressed about. Yeah. So for example, when I was in Algeria, I never appreciated like my multilingual aspect. Yep. Yes, like, okay, so Algerian is basically a mixture between Arabic, French, and some words of Tamazight, some words in Spanish. And then I learned Spanish in high school. And then some personal effort. French, it's embedded in the culture because we were like French colonies, both Cameroon and Algeria, and so on and so forth. But when it came here, even if you don't even make efforts, you always have that passive weapon is that you speak 5 or like 4 languages. Yep. You can literally be anything. A translator. You can work in some agency. You can do billion things. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, these are some passive abilities that you don't know and you don't think you have until you go and see, oh, wow, I know how to do this. Yep. You know what I'm saying? For example, soccer, too. In Algeria, because we play a lot of football, like, I never thought I was a good player. I never thought that. I was like, I'm probably the worst in my friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because like literally everybody plays. But when you get here and he started playing, like, wow, everybody was like, they asked me and they were like, oh, what team do you play for? Do you play for the Merciers team? No, I'm like, I don't even play for the team. You know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of passive abilities, that I said. Yep. So just exploit those in a way that works for you.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. This was a huge masterclass.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This was a masterclass, Mo. There's nothing else I can say. Like, you gave a lot of blessings.
Thank you.
There's a lot of things.
I'm so happy.
No,
yeah,
I'm so happy.
Yeah, like really like giving in any way, some sort of like information, help, This what makes me happy the most.
No, thank you.
Yeah, this is what makes me happy the most.
Thank you really for
absolutely.
for sharing.
Thanks for our listeners as well for their time, and I hope we were light for them and informative.
Hey, let us know in the comment what you think. If you have any questions, of course, reach out to me. But hey, I see you, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.